Gym owners, want to learn how simply following up in your gym business can literally change your life? Over the next 5 minutes, I'm going to walk you through step by step how following up in my business has completely changed my life and how it's going to be able to do the same thing for you as well. Also, be sure to click below at any time to get your free webinar on bulletproofing the follow-up for your gym business to double or more your sales. What's going on? It's your favorite sales follow-up guy, Trev Bucheri here, founder of Full Circle Follow-Up, Gym Follow-Up, Chiro Follow-Up, and 12 other leading follow-up systems. And I've spent the last 11 years mastering sales follow-up and building a complete lead nurture, reactivation, and conversion system that's brought my 5 gyms and chiropractic business from crashing to crushing literally overnight. In this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly how following up in my businesses has completely changed my life so you too can start doing the same today. Let's get started. So let's actually start the story where I had 4 really successful locations. And in fact, the story starts way before that. But I want to go there. I want to go there because that's actually where the story really starts getting good. So I had 4 locations, and in 1 year's time, I had the goal to actually open up 4 more locations, franchise my gym, and also write 2 books. So we started doing that. We opened up the 4 locations there. We started franchising. We dumped about $700,000 into that conquest right there. And we were super pumped. And all of a sudden, we just started crashing so hard. We were plummeting so quickly that it was so hard to keep my feet under myself, really. You know, I was saying, oh my gosh, well, maybe it's my programs. Maybe my programs aren't working, so we can pitch them differently. Or, okay, well, let me do a different program. Let me try this. Let me try that. Let me try this. Let me try that. We went through an experimentation phase of about 6 months where I was trying new things and throwing things at the wall to see if it would stick, and nothing was sticking. It was such a hopeless situation because what was working before that I was actually planning on working now was not working now. And it really came to the point where I remember having the conversation with my wife where I said, honey, we might have to move in with your parents, because I was writing up to $60,000 checks in 1 week period of time to be able to cover the losses that we were just churning over and over and over again. And I was so down in the dumps, man. I was depressed. I was completely depressed. I didn't even know it until later when I actually looked back. But, you know, finally I actually jumped on my feet, you know, not literally, but I said, hey, what am I not doing that I was doing before that was helping me be so successful? And it came down to education. I wasn't educating myself as much. I really cut expenses. I cut everything. And I said, hey, I'm just going to basically sit in this bubble and save money, as opposed to burn the boats. Burn the boats is really what I teach. And when I said, why are you not doing this? And I convinced myself to do it. So then I found myself at a Grant Cardone event. It was Grant Cardone's business boot camp. And the last day of the event, he started talking about follow-up. And it really got my attention. I was like, oh, okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. And the topic was really, they're advertising on Facebook, Google, and YouTube, and they get these leads. And it was really the process of how they're actually following up with them, what conversations they're having with them, how they're building relationships with them, how they're building rapport, how they're actually giving them content and value. And I was like, bing. I was like, wow. Okay, why can't I do that with my paid advertisement leads? Everything that we're doing on Facebook, why am I not following up that way? Why am I not doing it in an automated fashion like that? Why am I not, getting myself out there and preparing myself that way? So that's what I started to do. I remember in the airport on the way home, I was sitting there and I was writing out the way that I wanted my leads to be followed up with, and the type of conversations I wanted to have, and the type of information I wanted to give them, and how I wanted to be received. And I remember thinking, I was like, man, well, this is great for all incoming leads. I said, but what about all other lead sources? What about all other audiences of traffic that are literally flowing through my business every single day, every single minute? I thought about referrals. I thought about walk-ins. I thought about website inquiries. I thought about, well, what if someone schedules and don't show? What if someone shows up and they don't buy? What if someone shows up and they do buy and I have to prevent buyer's remorse? What about if someone has to reschedule or they want to do something later because now is not the right time? And what if you hold an event and you collect names? All these situations, I wasn't following up whatsoever. And the fact is that actually half of leads are never followed up with. But conversions, check this out, 80% of sales happen between the 5th and the 12th touch point. You get that right there? 5th and the 12th touch point. I was not doing any of that for any of my leads, anything that was flowing through my business at any particular time. So after the seminar, I went home and literally for the next week, I built the entire thing. I identified over 30 different audiences of traffic, 30 different lead sources that were flowing throughout my business. And I created specific conversations for each of them. And then I said, okay, I'm going to put this thing out. And I built it all in Google. So I sent it out manually. And all of a sudden, it started working. Started working. So I was like, wow, I see the light. I see it. Here we go. We're starting to actually pick up some momentum, and I'm doing all this manually. I was getting choked because I couldn't do it all. I couldn't go fast enough. So I started building in some automation. And now we're at version 8. And version 8 is just explosive, and it's completely changed my gyms, completely changed them. Within 30 days of doing this, it doubled my actual appointments that I was making and doubled the sales that I was making because nothing else changed. My sales closing percentage stayed the exact same. I just had double the appointments. So I immediately doubled my sales. Within 6 months, I increased my revenue by 60% on a monthly reoccurring revenue basis. So I literally went from crashing to crushing. It seemed overnight. It was overnight because I knew at that point that my business was saved. And I remember having the conversation with my wife that said, hey, we are good. We're going to be all right. And I did wait. I waited actually until we had some really good momentum going to have that conversation. But that was just an incredible thing. So the results that follow-up has done completely changed my life in that regard. But here's the thing, and that's actually not where the story ends, believe it or not. You know, as I was actually building this thing, new opportunities came into my life, which also completely changed it. I have a really great friend of mine. His name is Dr. Steve Novelli. He's a chiropractor, and we've been friends for well over a decade now. And as I was building this out, he saw me building it. He saw me building it and said, hey, man, like, that's amazing. Like, what do you think that could do for my chiropractic business? And I so humbly said, man, it would kill it. It would kill it for you. And he said, well, why don't you put it in there? And I was like, well, because I'd have to rebuild it and I'd have to customize it. And then I stopped talking. I said, okay, I will. I'll do it. We'll do it in 1 week. So we did. We put it in there and boom, his business completely popped to the point where now I'm a partner in the chiropractic business. And in 1 year's time, he increased his monthly revenue 70%, reoccurring month to month. Now, after COVID happened, we actually completely doubled it again throughout the process using the exact system. So now my partnership is even worth more to me. That's completely changed my life. Also, Dr. Steve and I actually did a JV, a joint venture, and started a stem cell company also using this system here. And I'm making revenue there. So now I'm making revenue in my gym business. I'm making revenue in my chiropractic partnership business, and I'm making revenue in my stem cell business. It's completely changed my life. So what started off thinking, hey, you know what? I want to create this brand, for a gym, and I want to get it to everyone that I possibly can because that's going to be my legacy. That's going to be the impact, and everyone's going to know my brand. It went from there to completely crashing and becoming humble to the point where what I realize now is that what we all do as professionals is absolutely crucial. We are changing lives. We are transforming lives. All of us, whether it be helping someone lose weight, whether it be helping someone alleviate the back pain that they've had for years and years and years, we all have to be here and we all deserve and we must do extremely well. We must do so well that it's not on our minds, so we're not distracted by the amazing services that we can do because we don't have enough money coming in. And that's really just where our mind is, so we can't actually work on our craft and actually transform the lives that we absolutely are built and meant to do. That was the huge breakthrough for me. So yes, my life changed financially, but it also changed from a purpose standpoint, really just down to the bone, for me. So there you have it. That is how following up in my businesses has completely changed my life and how it can do the same for you moving forward. So go ahead, click below right away or head over to explodeyourgym.com to get your free webinar on bulletproofing the follow-up in your gym business to double or more your sales today. Again, that's explodeyourgym.com. And also, I'd so appreciate if you'd please like, subscribe, and comment below. That would be amazing. Again, it's your favorite sales follow-up guy, Trev Bucheri. Thank you so much for investing your time with me today and give your best to the rest of your day. Take care.